Jersey Mike's. Makes a huge difference. The crowd, always the fans. It's a 12 o'clock, kind of a little different kind of game. I want to congratulate Bryant. Coach Martelli's doing a fantastic job, and I think that's a team that's going to win 20 games. I like their talent a ton. 1 day to prepare. Didn't show any of the 1-2-2 zone, but our guys adapted, adjusted. I love the fact that we were able to out-rebound them, 19 offensive rebounds, and after the Princeton game, we really made a concerted effort the last 2 games. We are going to be a really good rebounding team. Obviously, that showed up tonight, but, got to give Bryant credit. But thankful we played a home game. I think I'm learning a lot about my team. Guys had to step up. He goes 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Cliff ties his career high for rebounds, so he really bounced back. Aundre's become like a really good leader for us and a voice, and I really like, the other guys. So we got tested today, and that's a good thing for us. Tough win, but thankful playing home games here.
Steve, the dominant Cliff we saw in the second half. What has to happen, not just for him, but for the whole team, for that to become like both halves?
Yeah, I mean, it's all with Cliff. When he has that great focus, he was banged up a little bit in the last game. I really thought he got good real estate in the post. He's learning from film. He's a great film guy, too. But it all comes down to rebounds and being really aggressive to attack the ball. You saw down the stretch when the ball came off the rim, there was nobody else in the gym getting it but himself. And, when he's locked in like that, he's got to keep learning from film. Everyone guards him differently, in all these games. And, he's really got to do a good job of being prepared. But, one day doesn't help. I wasn't able to do a lot of things with him yesterday, especially for their bodies. And we got a little bit of a, quick turnaround here, but we have a couple days at least to prepare. But Cliff's mentality, when he's like that, mature and a leader, he was in the huddles, he was vocal. And that's a good sign for us, moving forward.
Go ahead, Chris.
Coach, Aundre Hyatt finishing with 19 points. Just what did you see out of his game on the offensive end, and how big was that?
Aundre's just, first of all, had terrific practices. He's become like really vocal. How about the block? He came from the weak side, as big a play, in the game too when it was crunch time. So, he's become our leading scorer. He's become a guy that we can really count on. And I love his voice, and I love his approach. I love the weak side defense. And then down the stretch, again, big free throws, and put the ball in his hands, and he made some plays, so very, he's coming. He's getting better and better, and, he's going to help mold this team. He and Cliff going to help mold this team and this guy.
Derek Simpson spent a lot of time guarding Gross Bullock. He also had 2 steals. What have you seen, Coach, from his defensive progression this year?
I tell you, we made a huge emphasis. He watched film of him. He's the leading scorer in that league. He scored 39 points in games before, so you got a 1-day prep on a really dangerous offensive player. And, he has some tendencies. I think we did a good job of making sure, he didn't get in the lane. We were contesting shots. We were highly focused on that. I think every year, you got that high score, can have one of those nights. And, the rest of their guys, Pinzione came and made some shots and what have you, but teams count on their leading scorers. And when you cut them in half like that and you hold them to that percentage, that means Derek took care of business. Mike guarded him. Noah guarded him. Austin guarded him. So a lot of different guys, but they were locked into the scouting report.
Steve, you talked about Wolf in the preseason and having a full off season to develop him. He only plays 17 minutes, but he gives you 7 points, draws 5 fouls, gets to the line. What can you say about his effort today?
Yeah, I mean, we really like him. We've turned our rebounding numbers around, by putting him in the mix, today. And then, when Cliff has foul trouble, he's going to get more minutes. But, he's been a really good, player for us. He's going to have a really good year. And, the more he plays, the more swagger. He's got good swagger, and I want him to play with some swagger because he can really score in the low post. And so he'll just keep getting better. I mean, he didn't get a lot of time last year, so he's kind of figuring out in live time. But Wolf has a good approach, and, he's going to have a really good year for us.
My question is for Aundre. Obviously stepping into a much larger role this year, back-to-back outstanding games offensively and defensively for you. How do you mentally prepare yourself for that when now stepping into that locker room and being such a leader for the team?
I get a lot of support, and my coaches and my teammates instill a lot of confidence in me. So just having that every day on a daily basis, it just gets me prepared.
another time playing a team that shoots a lot of threes. What do you think of your perimeter defense?
I mean, I thought our defense the whole time was really good. You know, that team prides themselves into being one of the leading scoring teams in the country, and they play at the fastest pace. You know, so I think holding them at 57, you know, was really good. But 6 for 23, I mean, they make threes. That's what they kind of do. So, again, one-day prep, kind of locked into the scouting report, you know, and the guys did a good job of identifying the guys that could really shoot the basketball. And we got to do that. Then you got to rebound. Crazy rebounds, too, that come off the rim when three-point shooters. That's what I'm most proud of. We tracked down some long ones. We did what we had to do on that end of the floor.
Steve, as you mentioned, there's a lot of learning going on still. You have a lot of new guards. Where are they at, do you think, in terms of knowing when to feed the post, knowing when to attack the rim, knowing when to take the three?
Yeah, I think, you know, Jerry, it's a great question. Every team guards the post differently, so you got to go through some of these games, especially early on, and you don't know how they're going to attack, you know, the post. Especially early in the season. They haven't shown it on tape and what have you. Cliff's got to be ready for everything. Our guys have to do a really good job of using ball fakes. That's a huge part of what we've been emphasizing, you know, the last few. But we got guys on the perimeter, like we haven't shot the ball great from the floor. This team can really shoot the ball too. So they want to put 2 or 3 guys on Cliff, you know, like we got to take advantage of, you know, the opportunities that we have. And, you know, the one thing the young guards, you know, Noah's new, but he's been around, and Derek's been with me for a year, and J. Mike, Austin, just new to our program. They learn a lot from film and how people play Cliff. And I think it's a good thing. The more you devour that, the more you're ready for anything that comes up. But early in season, it's, you know, it's sometimes difficult.
You touched on Bryant's pace a little bit. Your team had 21 fast break points today. Is that the pace you want to play at for the season, or just the product of the game?
You know, I would love to. I mean, we've gotten 20 or more fast break points in all of our games so far. That's a big thing for us. But, you know, when we rebound, that happens that way. But we didn't want to get into a crazy game with a team that wants to get up and down the court like that. So you got to be smart. You can run when it's time to run, but then you also got to play around, you know, a really good big guy too. So sometimes when you get running up and down at a crazy pace, you forget about, you know, Wolf, who can score in the post, and Cliff, and, you know, can do those things too. So you got to be smart about it.
You get the 8-0 run after they take the lead on back-to-back threes of 44-41. You get 8 in a row right after that, and then after you get the flagrant against Derek, that really helped sustain the momentum and lock the game away. How impressed were you with both of those stretches?
Well, I told the guys when it was win time, you know, we got 4 straight stops. You know what I mean? We grabbed the rebound, we got stops, they didn't score. I think we learned a little bit from Princeton. It was win time, we didn't get any stops, you know, too. So that's part of it. Even there's those games that you don't play great in the whole time, but when it's win time, you figure out a way to win. I'm proud that these guys went up and grabbed big rebounds, made big free throws. You know, that's what it takes sometimes to learn, you know, how to finish things off. And you know, we did that today. It's a good learning experience. It bodes well for us moving forward.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from both Cliff and Derek on this. Both you guys had big second halves. What changed for you guys, or what got better for you guys in the second half?
There you go, Derek.
Yeah. The second half, man. You know, we went in the locker room. We told each other we good. We just gonna keep getting stops. We gonna stay together regardless of the situation. And you know, we stuck together. We you know, free throws were a big issue in the first half. In the second half, we locked in, made the free throws, got stops, and we got it rolling. So yeah.
Like the first half, I got in foul trouble. Coach Pikiell came back to me. I was like, it's the second half, no more fouls. You just got to help your teammates. So, like, my teammates, they just give me they just back me up to, like, keep playing out, just to stay down, like, no fouls and stuff. So the momentum just kicked in, and we just got going.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.